we used to only see OPPO's R series smartphones in international news. While usually boasting eye-candy design and capable specs, it was in fact always a question I had in mind as to why the brand never brought them here until now. Hey guys, Chian here of Gadget Pilipinas. Today we're going to have our first look at something that's quite special. Join me as we unbox the first ever R series device to officially launch in the Philippines, the OPPO R17 Pro. Just at first glance, you can already tell that OPPO made the packaging of the R17 Pro a bit more special. In contrast to their usual box that opens from the top, this one opens from the side to reveal the gorgeous looking device. This kind of reminds us of the OPPO Find X we unboxed recently. Inside, you'll find a clear case which matches the color of the phone, a SIM ejector, and some documentation. Underneath, there's a charger which you can use to take advantage of the phone's Super VOOC flash charge technology that gives you 40 minutes of usage with just 10 minutes of charging time. Then there's the headset, which looks like they came from another brand which we will not name for now, and thank goodness, a USB Type-C cable. Now, moving on to the phone. Up front, the R17 Pro looks more or less like the F9, especially with that water drop notch design. Only this time, the 6.4-inch AMOLED screen is protected by Gorilla Glass 6. As an attempt to bring more premium-looking phones to the market, the surface of the body is specifically designed to give off a satin feel and is polished with a blue and purple gradient. And while they may have achieved just that, the fact is that the back panel can get quite slippery and is still a smudge magnet. The volume rocker is located on the left side while the power button is on the right. Strangely, OPPO has decided to move the SIM card slot to the bottom along with the USB Type-C port, the headphone jack, the speaker, and the microphone. Oh, and by the way, it can house 2 nano SIM cards. Moving with the times, the R17 Pro is also the first smartphone from the brand to have an in-display fingerprint scanner. And while the implementation is evidently better compared to the other brand, which you already know, the position of the scanner is slightly lower than where your thumb would naturally land when using the phone, which means you have to sort of reach for it. Should you find fingerprint scanning a bit too tedious, there's always Face Unlock, which works fast and works well even in less than ideal lighting conditions. Moving on to the optics, the OPPO R17 Pro has a triple rear camera system with AI scene detection. The main camera can switch the aperture from f1.5 for better low-light shots to f2.4 for standard day shots. They call it Smart Aperture. For day shots, details are certainly impressive, so are sharpness and contrast. Color accuracy is also quite on point. The depth effect also seems refined with no signs of pixelation, and the camera is able to clearly distinguish the areas it should and should not blur. Seemingly the forte of this phone, night shots are impressive and exhibit good detail despite the lighting condition. The R17 Pro can take a 3-second long exposure shot without a tripod, which a good feature to have. The 25-megapixel selfie camera boasts AI-assisted beautification, which I find a bit too aggressive in correcting blemishes and making your face look smoother. And now let's talk about performance. The R17 Pro is one of the first few devices to run on the Qualcomm Snapdragon 710 octa-core processor coupled with 8GB of RAM to ensure optimal performance even when multiple apps are running. While we don't have actual benchmarks yet, we can tell you that gaming on this phone is a joy. In this footage, we're playing PUBG at HD+ high FPS setting and the phone isn't showing any signs that it's struggling. The R17 Pro runs on Android 8.1 Oreo with OPPO's ColorOS 5.2 on top of it. As such, you can get the same colorful motif that's quite lively and makes the UI a bit more fun to use. Navigating the UI is smooth and fluid and no signs of stutters or lag. You also get the same features from the F9 such as Game Space, which holds a bunch of options for optimizing the phone's performance when gaming, as well as enabling Game Assistant, which gives you the option to capture screenshots or even record your gameplay. Finally, the R17 Pro houses a 3700 battery and also has OPPO's signature Super VOOC flash charge technology, which gives you 40 minutes of usage time with just 10 minutes of charging. There's quite a few more things for us to do before we can rate this phone properly, but for now, we're quite enjoying our time with it. Again guys, this has been Gian of Gadget Pilipinas, and thank you for watching.